So with Duel Links' new world just around the corner, and with me being completely unimaginative and being able to come up with zero video ideas, I thought I'd show you guys some cool ass combos with some of the new cards that are coming from the new world before it releases. This time starting with the GOUKI combos. Now a couple of important things to note before we actually get into showing the combos. The first is we don't actually know all the cards we're getting yet, so I'm just showing you some cool combos with the cards we know we are getting. So this deck is going to get stronger, there's definitely some more cards that are going to be added, just keep that in mind, especially if I decide to do some Code Talker videos or some Salaman Great combos over the next few days. There's a lot more cards coming, so these combos, if they look lackluster, it's probably because there's still a few cards still coming. And the second thing to worry about is, of course, if you are enjoying this kind of stuff, want to see more combo tutorials in the future, or if you want to see me make more videos based on the new world before it releases, make sure to let me know in the comments down below, like this video and subscribe and all that kind of stuff, especially if you're a returning viewer, as apparently only about 50% of the people watching this or even subscribe to the channel, yet nearly all of you are returning viewers who have seen my stuff before. So if you are interested in this stuff, want to see more stuff like this in the future, remember to subscribe. Alright, let's get into the actual combos. Alright, let's get into the combos. So every one of these combos is going to look exactly the same in terms of starting hand, as you're just going to need a GOUKI Super X, plus literally any other GOUKI monster at all. This is kind of like a 1.5/2 card combo, I don't really know which one to call it, as you just need GOUKI, this dude, and then literally any other GOUKI monster, doesn't matter which. Alright, so let's get into it. So summon out your Suplex. Suplex's effect then go off to special summon your GOUKI card from hand. Now you have two monsters on the field, you can make a link to. Going into your Jet Ogre. This then sends two GOUKI cards from the field to the graveyard, and as all GOUKIs do when they're sent from field to the graveyard, you can search for GOUKI cards, one each. In this case, we're searching for a copy of Headbat, which is the important one, and then literally any other GOUKI monster, doesn't matter which, as long as it's one you haven't used the search effect for yet, because these are all once per turn effects. Activating Headbat's effect, targeting the GOUKI on the field, to discard this dude from hand, special summon himself, giving this guy some attack, and putting this guy on the field, so he can make a Link 3 play. Going into our GOUKI the Great Ogre. Now, because we sent two cards to the field, this card going to the graveyard is an attack buff to all my GOUKIs on the field, and this card going to the graveyard, like the other GOUKIs, just gets a search. Right, this time going probably the best card in the deck, the GOUKI Rematch, which is basically a Monster Reborn, but for two GOUKIs. It's actually an insane card. Alright, so it summons out two GOUKIs of different levels from your graveyard. Keep in mind though, these two GOUKIs have already used their effects, so you can't use their effects again now to like link them away and do double search again. You can't do that. But that's basically where this combo sort of ends, because from here you can go into a whole plethora of stuff. You can make a Link 2 with the two monsters you have on field, so you can make whatever monster you like, and go into, I don't know, a Code Talker if you like. You can go into a whole bunch of stuff here, or you can just use this card's effect, which allows you to send GOUKI cards from the field to the graveyard to give your dude attack boost, so you can make this guy into a, what, 4700 or something attack monster, whatever it is, then just, 4900 attack monster if you send this one, then just beat over any of your opponent's stuff if you like. Or you can do what I'm about to do, which is wait till my opponent's turn, to then use its effects then. Because now, these cards can use their effects again, their once per turn effects. Keep in mind with these two dudes on the field, your GOUKI the Great Ogre is actually pretty protected, as all monsters on the field is attack equal to their original defense. If this card be destroy a battle or card effect, you can destroy one of your monsters this card points to instead. Which obviously, if they do try to destroy this, you destroy these, and you'll get search effects from these cards being sent to the graveyard. But what you can also do is wait till your opponent summons a monster. Let's say they summon out a big monster, not necessarily this dude, but a really huge monster. They then try to swing into this guy. During the damage step, you could then activate this card's effect, sending one of these to the graveyard, giving this dude a shit ton of attack, and giving you a search. Which also could be a search for your GOUKI the Iron Claw, which you then discard from hand to make this card even have more attack. Because when the card is attacked, you can send this card from the graveyard to make your GOUKI gain more attack. Going by 500, I think. Yeah. So that's just an example, but generally all you need to know is the part where you get this dude on the board and then two GOUKIs on the field, because that's basically where the combo sorta ends. Alright, on to the second combo. So the second combo for this deck is the main reason I think it has a very good chance to at least compete with the higher tier decks in this game, as this deck going second has a really powerful OTK, which, just like with the first combo, literally starts with one GOUKI Super X in combination with literally any other GOUKI monster. So it's a really easy combo to pull off, which also keep in mind will still have you with 3 extra cards in hand, such as back row removal or Forbidden Lances or something, to get rid of back row, so your opponent is basically they don't have a whole lot that can stop this combo, as you'll see at the end of it. Alright, so first thing you're going to do is summon out your GOUKI Subrek, same as before. Special summoning out the other GOUKI from hand. Then leaking off into your GOUKI Jet Ogre, which will give you 2 searches. Searching for your Twin Cobra in combination with your Headbat. By the way, if you actually happen to already have the GOUKI Twin Cobra in your starting hand, you can basically skip this step because you'll be able to search for the 2 cards anyway, the 2 cards you need for the following combo, but you'll see. I'll talk about it a bit in a second. Alright, so you activate your Headbat's effect, discarding the Twin Cobra to the graveyard, which will special summon itself to the field. Then you can link off into your GOUKI the Great Ogre. This will give you 2 effects, one that gives the attack boost to your card on the field, and the other gives you the search for the double monster reborn. GOUKI Remax to then bring back the 2 monsters. In this case, making sure to bring back the GOUKI Twin Cobra, because that's the important one, as we haven't used its search effect yet, or its attack boosting effect yet. So we activate its effect, sending itself to the graveyard to give this card an attack boost, as well as searching for our copy of Finishing Move. Now, what I meant earlier by if you happen to already open this card in your starting hand, you could have skipped a whole step, is basically because you could just summon this card, go on into your Link 2, go on into your Link 3, you would have searched for your rematch, and you would have searched for your finishing move, and then you could just special summon them both back and do the exact same thing you're about to see. So if you actually open this card, you can skip all of that process, but if you don't open it, you can search for it by doing what I just did then. Alright. So now that you've sent this card to the graveyard, you gave yourself a search for finishing move. You also gave this card a nice little 1600 attack boost to make it 4700 attack. And that's also in combination with the attack boost from your Jet Ogre. And now you have your finishing move. Target one GOUKI Link monster control. It gains attack equal to its Link rating times 1000 until the end of this turn. Also, if it attacks a defense position monster, this turn inflict piercing damage to your opponent. For those this turn after this resolved, you cannot declare an attack except with GOUKI monsters. So basically, you activate this, give this card an extra 3000 attack because it's a Link 3, making it 7700 attack, so you can just attack into any defense position monster, and your opponent is just dead. It doesn't have to be attacking to a defense position monster. If your opponent just has any monster on field, or if they have the board completely open, in Duel Links, this is basically a guaranteed knockout. It's very unlikely they'll have anything that actually stops this. Sphere Creeper doesn't do anything because it's a Link monster, it can't go to defense position. They can't use White Princess because it doesn't even have a level, so the only real hand traps that stop this is things like DD Crow when you're trying to use your Monster Reborn effect. That's like the only hand trap that deals with it in Duel Links. There's some other, obviously there's plenty of back row that deal with it, but like I said, you have 3 other cards in your starting hand, so the chance of you not having at least one back row removal is pretty low. So this deck, this combo, it's so damn disgusting. If they don't have a monster with at least, 3800 attack on field, it's a guaranteed kill. So I think this is the main combo that has such a high chance of making this deck top tier, or at least being able to compete with the high tier ranks, because it is a really nasty combo, which, if this is in Duel Links, you're just not surviving this. That's too much damage for you to survive. Alright, onto the third and final combo. Now this combo is more of an example combo. It's not really something that's probably going to be used all that often, but purely because I want to show you what this deck can do with, since it has no actual locks on it really, you can just go into other Link monsters outside of its archetype. So if there's any powerful Link 4s, you can do something like this. Alright. So first thing I'm going to do is summon out my Suprex. Once again, summoning out whichever GOUKI you have in hand, doesn't matter which, and linking off into your Jet Ogre, giving you 2 searches. This time going for random mask card, doesn't matter which, and your GOUKI Rematch. GOUKI Rematch, when you bring back the 2 cards. So I shouldn't say doesn't matter which, one that hasn't used its effect yet to be able to search, so making sure you just grab any other one that isn't one of these 2. Alright, linking off into your GOUKI Thunder Ogre. This allows you to conduct an extra normal summon to one of your link zones this card points to, so one of these 2 zones. In this case, this is Duel Link, so this zone doesn't exist, so you'd have to put it here. So make sure you don't fill up this zone with your Suprex. Also giving yourself an attack boost on this guy, which doesn't matter. Summoning this card from hand. Summoning going to a Link 4, going into our Firewall Dragon. So this actually isn't that bad of a play going first, because it does give you some kind of disruption, which we don't know what Link monsters we're actually getting yet, or at least we know only a few of them, meaning this might not be the best kind of opener for the deck, but this is an example of, you can go into a powerful card like this card, which, for those that don't know what this card does, Once all face up on the field, quick effect, you can target monsters on the field and or graveyard up to the number of monsters co-linked to this card and return them to hand. If a monster this card points to destroy battle or sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Cyberse monster from your hand. So basically you summon this card out just so you have a quick effect removal during your opponent's turn. Alright, now that we have this dude on field, I'm getting a card search since we sent our Scorpio to the graveyard. We can add a copy of your GOUKI face turn. This card basically targets one GOUKI card you control and one GOUKI monster in your graveyard, destroy the first card on the field, and if you do, special summon the other from the graveyard. So now we can destroy this card, which will bring back our big dude, and will activate the co-links. We have this arrow pointing down, and we have this arrow pointing up. These two are now co-linked, meaning you can use Firewall's effect to be able to remove one of your opponent's monsters when they summon it. For example, in this case, this dude's going to be summoning out this card, and then summoning out another card. Going into a link 2, and I decide I don't like this link 2, so I'm going to activate my Firewall's effect and simply return it back to the extra deck. So that's just an example of some of the cool things you can do with this deck. Like I said, we don't know what link monsters we're particularly getting yet, so we might get some really powerful link 4 that's a much better starter than this. This is just an example of this deck has no real locks on it, so if you want to go into other link monsters outside of the archetype, you can, and you can combo really damn easily with this deck. Especially considering you've just got nasty spell cards like your face turn, like your double monster reborn, that just make it so damn easy to link summon with this deck. I think out of all the decks they've currently shown us, at least with the cards they've shown us, I think this one has the most potential to be at least able to compete with the higher tiers. There's so many cool things you can do with it. I don't know, the Salamander deck looks really good as well, but I feel like it's missing a shit ton of trap cards, but until we see what other cards we're getting, I think as of now, this looks like the one that you're going to be wanting to invest in first. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's little combo stuff. Let me know if you want to see any more, maybe combo tutorials over the next few days before the world releases, and maybe we'll do one for like the Cyberse deck or for the Code Talker deck. I don't know, maybe we'll do one of those. If you're interested, let me know. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, latest, subscribe.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.